have in our midst our guest speaker. We need to do a short introduction of our guest speaker and have by my side my friend, my sister, colleague, Mrs. Charity Abraham. She will do us the honors by reading a profile of our guest speaker. Shall we give it to Charity?
Thank you very much, Mr. Boy. On this sad note, I would want you to permit me to read a brief profile on our guest speaker. Our guest, Mrs. Mary Abina Agyapong, is the Foundation Registrar of the University of Energy, Environment and Sustainable Development. She holds a Master of Science in Food Science and a Bachelor of Science Honors in Biochemistry from the Universities of McGill, Montreal, Canada, and Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, Ghana, respectively. She is fascinated by technology and believes that the appropriate application of technology has a special place in leapfrogging the growth and development of every institution. Mrs. Agyapong joined the Siai Polytechnic, now Siai Technical University, and was appointed the first female vice principal at the age of 31. She served 2 terms. Subsequently, she was appointed the Dean of Students of the same institution and later became the first female registrar of Koforidua Technical University. She was named the first female registrar in the history of Presbyterian University College, Ghana. She was part of the team that oversaw the commencement of the deployment of hardware requirement for PUCC to join the Ghanaian Academic and Research Network, GANEC. Mrs. Agyapong has served on several associations and committees, including chairperson, board of Francis Faki Amankwa Foundation, an ICT advisory committee, e-voting system, professional fellow, Chartered Institute of Administrators and Management Consultants, CIMC Ghana, and a resource person in opportunity management for CIMC. The Institute of Directors, Ghana, Board of the Youth Arise Ghana, Committee for the Development of the National Policy Framework on Open Educational Resources, the Commonwealth Association of Polytechnics and Technical Universities in Africa, Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling, in collaboration with the Commonwealth of Learning, and the management team of the Koforidua Technical University, which benefited from the NUFIC, NPC/UCC. Mrs. Agyapong's notable achievements include a local consultant for the assessment of the Shea Butter Mechanization Project in the northern region of Ghana for the United Nations Development Fund for Women, now UN Women. She has also had a stint with TODA Investment and Hospitality, and in the commencement of the Metallics Institute of Technology and Tourism. She was appointed on a special government assignment as a member secretary of a 3-member interim management committee that worked to restore peace and order in hitherto troubled Wa Polytechnic, now Dr. Hila Liman Technical University. She has attended several international and local workshops, seminars, and summits on conflict resolution, negotiation and advocacy, human resource metrics, flexible skills development, and blended approaches. She's also a member of the Abbeyquaye Girls Old Student Association. I hope this year will be happy. Class of 1985, and K University Alumni Association. Mrs. Agyapong is a member of the Praying Wives Movement and fellowships with the Methodist Church Ghana. She's a lay presbyter, a lay preacher, and has served in various capacities at the society circuit and the assistant level of the church. She participated in the 2020 conference, Accra, and the 11th Biennial Expanded General Purposes Committee of the church at Tamale. Mrs. Abina Agyapong is married to Engineer Kwesi Agyapong with 4 solid children, young adults. With a round of applause, I would want us to welcome our guest speaker, Mrs. Mary Abina Agyapong. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Abraham, thank you very much. And as you said, 4 solid children, she said, Omunina yema. Timombon sema ema me. We're going to Nasab. So we'll take a spot of music, and then Madame will come and deliver her presentation. John Blay, my nyoma odofum.
Israel, Ethiopia, Sudan, what they're shown. Abaka, Bachimo, one year, for Karacha, Akachimo, 1 year, and a young thing. Abaka, Bachimo, 1 year, for Karacha, Akachimo, 1 year, and a young thing. I'm a Caminian Matu, I'm a Kaonyan Motu, I'm a Kawanyan Watumo. I'm a Caminian Matu, I'm a Kaonyan Motu, I'm a Kawanyan Watumo. I'm a cow when you want to win that I catch my walk, Banya. Get son, you want Bawa. 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 You want Bawa. Get son, you want Bawa. Get son, you want Bawa. What you want to me? Get son, you want Bawa. What you want to me? When I do not remember my own. Get son, you want Bawa. Abaka, Bachimo, 1 year, for Karacha, Akachimo, 1 year, and a young thing. Get son, you want Bawa. 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 Get son,
Expectation, not hopes. Are you meeting Anka? The second motion. And also the second expectation. Mauli, can you let me know your expectations?
Maman dit que lorsqu'on cherche bien, on finit toujours par trouver. Elle dit qu'il n'est jamais très loin, qu'il part très souvent travailler. Maman dit travailler c'est bien, bien mieux qu'être mal accompagné. Pas vrai?
Dis-moi où est ton papa, sans même devoir lui parler, c'est ce qui ne va pas. Ah sacré papa, dis-moi où es-tu caché? Fais-moi 1000 fois que j'ai
compté mes doigts.
Hey. All right.
Où t'es papa, où t'es?
So, we are getting ready, but I'll go to drink for drink expectation.
Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es papa, où t'es? Où t'es, où t'es papa, où t'es?
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. All about ourselves.
Quoi? Qu'on y croit ou pas, il y aura bien un jour, on n'y croira plus. Un jour ou l'autre, on sera tous papas.
So
un jour à l'autre, on aura disparu. Serons-nous détestables? Serons-nous admirables?
Good afternoon. Hey, moi Fimia Meko. The acting Vice-Chancellor, the President, the Chairman, my brother, our guest of honor has left, but we acknowledge him. Distinguished members of the GAUA fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, they say it's good afternoon. Correct, right? Okay, so they say that Ghanaians always apologize before they start the program. So let me be a Ghanaian today to apologize for joining you late. Small mishap, but it's under control. So if you see me sit, it's not out of disregard for the August house, but I won't sit. My brother is urging me on. So I thank you for making me part of the CPD for GAUA-UCC, and I am indeed honored to stand before you, very astute professionals who quietly, without applause, keep the engine of our universities running. I am seriously and happy to be here. It is both a pleasure and it is also a privilege to stand before you, ladies and gentlemen, to address you on a topic I believe is at the very heart of the survival, relevance, and excellence of our institutions. Ethical leadership. See, people were using paper. Now we say we won't use paper. Doing something here. Ethical leadership, efficient administration and innovation, pathways to professional development. This is a very big task that your leadership has entrusted me with. And I hope that at the end, we will all together agree that they work together, even though they are uniquely different. One cannot work without the other. Madam Provici, we are all in Ghana, not only in Ghana, but in West Africa. And we are part of the world. We have heard of several ethical issues. Once upon a time, I'm not going to mention the name of a university, but there was an issue of sex for grades. I haven't mentioned anybody's name. There were issues of procurement that led to the dismissal of a vice-chancellor. All over the world, we have had issues. One of the presidents of the most prestigious universities in the world had to step down because they had doctored the results of their research. The president did not doctor his research, but because it happened under his watch, he was made to step down. No. And it will always go in history that you were the president. It was during your time that this unfortunate thing happened. So it is important. Leadership is so important, and especially the ethical leadership in our times. Higher institutions everywhere, they are under pressure from tightening budget, enrollment volatility, to rapid technological change and rising public expectations of accountability from our universities. Ghanaian universities are no exception of these current expectations. In this environment, the administrator is not merely one who processes our files, and it's no longer sufficient to just do that. You are more than that. The administrators have now become the snooze. When you like meat, like me, you realize that, okay, thank you very much. I'm supposed to. No, I'm not using my laptop here. I go now. For those of you who like meat, you have strands of meat, but in between it, you have that thing that pulls the meat together so that you can cut and have those bundles of meat. That's what administrators are now. So today's CPD session invite us all to reflect on these three ideas. Demanding live out, ethical leadership, efficient and innovation, and how these together simultaneously and individually, how they together chart pathways to our professional development. I want to start with a confession. Not the one to the priest for forgiveness. Early on in my career, I believe that being a good administrator was mostly a technical problem. Get the systems right, get the processes right, and the rest will follow, right? No. It took me a good number of years and a few uncomfortable mistakes to understand that the technical problem is the easy part, because you can see where you really went wrong. The hard part is holding all these three together at once, doing what is right, doing it well, and doing it in such a way that it keeps the institution relevant. It keeps the institution relevant for tomorrow, not just for today. I'll repeat that. I said it took me, a sizable number of uncomfortable mistakes. So, Brother Chair, allow them to make the mistakes, otherwise they will never learn. I said that the mistakes taught me that the technical aspect was just the easy part, because you can pinpoint the specific part that you made a mistake. But for me, was holding these three things together, doing it right, doing it well, and doing it in such a way that it keeps our institutions still relevant for tomorrow, not just today. I remember quite early in my administrative life inheriting a position that was on paper running perfectly. Every report was submitted on time. Yes, tick. Every box was ticked. Grammar tick. Structure tick. Time. Every report, box was ticked. And yet morale was on the floor. Morale applying elsewhere. And nobody would. The last little time anyone had tried something new, the systems were efficient. Nothing else was. The gap between the institution that functions, the gap between the institution that functions and the institution that flourishes is really what this title or this theme is all about. We occupy a strategic and often unappreciated positions within our universities. Whilst our academic colleagues, with all due respect, Madam Prof, I don't mean to put you on the spot. It's a family talk. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, okay. So, while our academic colleagues create and disseminate knowledge, it is we who provide the systems, the processes, and the quiet leadership that make learning, research, community engagement possible in the first place. because you cannot do that in vacuum. Without efficient administration, even the brightest scholarship struggles to find its foot. So the next time the rankings come out, I believe that every single person seated here deserves an egg. At least. But now, in the area of technology, it won't be too bad if we all have tablets to cook the egg on. So this afternoon, we are talking about ethical leadership, efficient administration, and innovation. This is not a motivational talk. This is something that is so deeply ingrained in my heart and my soul. You can ask all the people I have worked with. When you bring your work, I ask you one question. Is this the best you could do? One. Is there any better way you can do it? Two. Are there any more suggestions than what you have put on paper? Three. Ethical leadership, efficient administration, and innovation, driving it. So, Brother Chair, framing the theme, why are these three pillars together? Here is the argument I want to carry throughout the rest of the talk. It is deliberate that this theme joins ethics, efficiency, and innovation rather than treat them separately. In practice, they are inseparable. An efficient administration built on ethical foundation is a scandal delayed. It's a scandal waiting to happen. Ethics without efficiency is a well-meaning paralysis. The administrator who agonizes over every decision, consults everyone twice, and never quite gets anything done, so that the institution's good intentions never actually reach the people that they are meant to help. An ethical administration that is inefficient loses public confidence just as surely as efficiency without ethics is like a machine that runs beautifully but is going in the wrong direction. And we all have seen institutions that have hit their target. Oh, this person really wants to talk to me today, but I don't want to talk to you. I want to be talking to you. I'm saying that, and we have seen very beautiful looking institutions, ground to a, they had all their targets online, they had everything, but now they have padlocks, they are closed. Ladies and gentlemen, innovation without gathering or administrative discipline produces expensive pilot projects that never get scaled up, becoming like a noise. New technology like new initiatives, new logos, new letterheads, sitting on top of the old dysfunction, changing the appearance of an institution without changing its substance. Ladies and gentlemen, the Association of African Universities has, in successive continental conferences, framed institutional resilience as resting on exactly this tripod: governance integrity, operational effectiveness, and adaptive capacity. If you do that with the microphone, I'll put it down now. Our task this afternoon is to unpack what each pillar demands of us as administrators in the Ghanaian context and to draw honest comparisons with what is happening elsewhere in the continent globally. I want to define a few terms before we go on. What is ethical leadership? This one I know you all know. Who can help me? Now I'm the only teacher over here. Yes, I know they are supposed to read for me. Ethical leadership. According to Brown, Trivino, and Hudson, ethical leadership is the demonstration of normatively appropriate conduct through personal actions and interpersonal relationships and the promotion of such conduct to followers through two-way communication, reinforcement, and decision-making. In a simpler term, it is a leadership that is both personally moral and actively concerned with making others act morally, combining the leader's character with deliberate stewardship of ethical climate of the institution. In our context, it means leading with integrity, modeling the values of our university, and holding ourselves and others accountable even when no one is watching. Some of us, we play to the gallery. Registrar is coming, then they are on the seat. The moment registrar goes for a 2-day leave, they are also on sabbatical leave for 2 days. Yes, you know. In our context, it means leading with integrity, modeling the values of our university, and holding ourselves and others accountable, even when no one is watching. So I went and searched for your motto, even though I know already. And I have officially looked for what it meant. Veritas Nobis Lumen. What does it mean? Truth is our guide, or truth our guide. It means that we over here, we even have a bigger responsibility because you are saying that yours is truth. Me, I haven't said that for my... Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to define briefly what efficient administration is. Efficient administration refers to the management of human, financial, and material resources in such a way that it delivers public, I'll take it again. Efficient administration refers to management of human, financial, and material resources in ways that deliver public or institutional services at the lowest reasonable cost, with minimal waste and with acceptable timelines, while remaining accountable and transparent to stakeholders. It is administration that converts institutional input, staff time, budget systems into reliable output, prompt service, sound record, satisfied staff and students, and great community engagement. Registrar, brother registrar, Do you always have the student numbers correct? I believe, I know that you can ask for student numbers 5 times, and each time it comes, the numbers are different. You can have different percentages for female-male ratios in the same university, in the same semester, in the same month. That is not efficiency, because the registrar should, at the click of a button, know exactly, because we can't have, you see, when you say about, how many students do we have? Felix, where are you? About what? Either you have or you don't. About what? So we want to be sure that in this age of technology and innovation, where data is so important, where data determines what you get or you do not get, where data determines where you stand or you do not stand, it is very important that we are able to convert whatever resources that have been given to us into the outcomes that the university require. Ladies and gentlemen, I will define innovation, and then we will take each pillar one by one. According to Drucker, in his classic formulation, innovation is the purposeful and organized search for changes and the systematic analysis of the opportunities such changes might offer for economic or social innovation. So you look for the opportunities that the change will bring. When we talk of innovation, people think of technology. Technology is part of the innovation. So, applied to university administration, innovation means the deliberate introduction of new ideas, methods, and technologies like digitized records, redesigned workflow, data-informed decisions to improve how the institution serves its students, faculty, and the community. And when we say pathways to professional development, what do we mean? What we mean is that this serves as a way in which we are able to grow. Pathways to professional development describes the structured and self-directed routes like training, mentorship, further study, micro-credential, professional association activities, and reflective practices. All these combined, these routes through which an employee, that will be you and I, grow in our careers to remain relevant in the roles that we have been given. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take these pillars one at a time. Ethical leadership in university administration. We have already defined ethical leadership in university administration, so I would want to skip that for the sake of time and place it at your disposal that ethical leadership just did not start. It has gone through several evolution. We had the pre-1980s, where it was trust. They didn't have anything written down. Everything was trust between It was the collegial trust. Universities functioned largely on unwritten norms, collegial peer pressure, and implicit moral authority of the academic gown. Ethics was a matter of personal honor. It was not required. It was not formalized. So they did not have administrative codes like we do now. So that was pre-1980. Then we come to where we had the signing of the Magna Universitatum. Assemble. So this declaration asserted institutional autonomy and academic freedom, inseparably linked to ethical responsibilities towards the society. It comes down to the 1992, where we had the birth of the academic integrity as a movement. And then the late 1990s to the early 2000s, I don't know whether many of you have read about the Enron disaster. A lot of people in the US lost their livelihood. Corporate governance took over. In 2005, we had the operationalization of ethical leadership. And then UNESCO in the 2009 we had the global mandate. The World Conference on Higher Education issued a communique stressing that governance of higher education must be underpinned by ethics, transparency, and social responsibility, urging member states to embed ethical codes in their institutional framework. We have the African and the national institutionalization. African Union Convention on Prevention of Combating Corruption also brought to fore issues of data protection, anti-plagiarism software, and so on and so forth. In the 2020s now, we have the digital ethics frontier, where the pandemic forced remote operations, surfacing ethical dilemmas about data privacy, AI proctoring, and algorithm decision-making, and so on and so forth. Issues with admissions, HR. Now we have ethics by design. So the trajectory remains reveals a powerful truth. Ethical leadership has evolved from an implicit virtue to an explicit auditable pillar of higher education administration. The auditors amongst us, where are you? Auditors. Yes. Now the questions we are supposed to answer has nothing to do with only finance. So it has everything to do with your integrity as head of department, your integrity as the leader of any team, your integrity. So the ethics has evolved over a period of time, and it's now an auditable pillar of higher education administration. We are the custodians of this journey as administrators, blending global standards with our deeply held cultural values of collective responsibility and integrity. So the leadership we are talking about is a reflection of who you are, your integrity. There are some of us, if you tell us to look up, we have to look down. Because if you don't take care, something will fall into your eyes. That is how we are. We are not trustworthy. Ladies and gentlemen, what ethical leadership really looks like in practice is that it is not about the position, but it is about influence. Ethical leadership is about influence. And it is the most enduring form of influence is ethical leadership. It is not the title on your door. It is not how big your office looks like or the kind of furniture is. Madam Provis, do you like your office? It's too big, yes. When I was ushered into my office, that's the same way that I felt. What am I supposed to do with all this space? You see. But madam, it is more than the size of your office. And the fact that maybe, I don't know about you, your name will be placed in the holder. It will bear your name. Acting Provis. Your name will be put there. Ethical leadership means consistently doing the right thing. Ethical leadership means you are doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. The leaders who embody this share a recognizable set of habits. They tell the truth even when it is uncomfortable, when the half-truth would have been easier. They don't redirect blame. They treat people around them as human beings, be it staff, students, cleaners, those who empty the bins. It doesn't matter. The ethical leader shows basic respect. Ladies and gentlemen, integrity means that our private conduct and public duties are consistent, and that the same values guide us whether or not anybody is watching. There are some of us, if what we are even thinking now is placed on this screen, we will go under the table. We preach virtue and practice vice. That is not ethical leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, ethical leaders are accountable. Accountability means owning the outcome Ethical leadership matters because it builds trust between institutions and the people they serve. Ethical leadership is important because it promotes accountability at every level of the organization. It enhances institutional credibility with regulators, donors, and the general public. It encourages genuine employee commitment, not compliance. It reduces corruption and malpractice. And you know that if corruption and malpractice decreases, it means that you have enough resources. And if you have enough resources, your company will, or your organizational performance will increase. People may obey authority temporarily, but people follow integrity permanently. People may obey authority temporarily, but people follow integrity permanently. Authority can compel a signature, but only integrity can inspire loyalty. It is very important that we consciously desire and make a move to be ethically predisposed in every aspect of our lives. Brother Chair, I am going to skip a section that has the modern trends in ethical leadership, but just to say that we have shifted from compliance to value-based and character-driven leadership, the one that treats staff as moral agents rather than just mere followers. We have moved on. And I want to give us one simple practical example. Recruitment. Candidate A, candidate B. There's only one slot for that person, for that position. Candidate B is very connected. He knows almost everybody. And when he enters even the interview room, he even begins to mention the names of the panelists. Candidate A knows nobody. He comes in with his head bowed, afraid of what is going to happen. But this candidate A has everything that the position requires. Brother Registrar, this is an ethical dilemma we face. Me and you and I. We face on a daily basis. Because candidate A may have honorable so and so. Some people can even, one person's name can come 55 times. Moral dilemma, ethical dilemma. Candidate A ticks all the boxes. Candidate B does not. In such a situation, what will be your choice? Whisper to the person sitting next to you. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard of me. Nobody whispered anything into my ear. Nobody whispered because there's nobody to my left or to my right. Okay. Nobody did. But whatever your decision may be, your staff are watching. Have you heard this? Hey, also Fumpo now, you say. You've heard that? Yeah. Oh, I expected better from you. Your staff are watching. And they are imbibing and they are calculating whether the institution will reward effort or will reward connections, ethical dilemmas that we face, real ones. In 2020, when UESD was, anyway, today is the 6th year. I mean, we were inaugurated 6 years ago today. So when we were doing the recruitment, and then Brother Chair, we had one influential person. That one person had 47 names. So my VC and myself, we code-named it AK-47. It is the fun that keeps us going, right? Megan. So that person between my VC and I, we refer to that person in private life, AK-47, you know. One person, 47 names. So my Vice-Chancellor, let me put the paper down and said, please show me the one whose names I should cancel. The 47 names, you cancel, give it to me, I know. Ethical dilemma, you know. It got to a point where the people were aggressive because in their mind, the university belongs to them. And we, the Fantas and the Ashantis, have come to take their jobs. Being ethically correct puts you at a lot of risk in the community that you find yourself. So one of them, I called my office and then I said, don't come here again because you are exposing us to danger. At one point, you know, we are surrounded by mangoes, a lot of it. So somebody went and told them that we were plucking their mangoes. They came with machetes and yes, but we were like this. There were no students at that time. But can you imagine somebody who thinks you have taken their jobs coming in with a machete? Your guess is as good as mine. You know, ethical leadership does not make you safe. I tell people that I have been poisoned. I have been, you know, during the reading of my profile, I don't know where you took it from. Come and get updated version. But you may have heard that I was a member of a 3-member interim management committee that had to, there were leadership issues. There were Polytechnic at that time. So the council was dissolved and management was dissolved. And the 3-member committee, which I was secretary to, we went to WA. You understand? You see, when leadership fails, it's something else. I shouldn't have mentioned the name, so what I'm going to say, I won't say. Yes, I should have said a polytechnic somewhere. But suffice it to say that I was happy to meet the new Vice-Chancellor last week at the conference, and I really do wish them well. I shouldn't have mentioned the name, so yeah. But there are 6 traits as an ethical leader you should cultivate. It is, I mean, you cannot do without it and be an ethical leader. Integrity. Doing what is right consistently, not selectively. An administrator whose private conduct contradicts their public pronouncement will sooner or later be found out, and the cost of their credibility will be almost irrecoverable. So you should walk the talk. You should walk the talk. You know, very big men have been brought on their knees by simple videos by small girls. Integrity is very important. There are some of you who cannot make decisions because you are compromised, seriously compromised, and they know what they can use to get you. Some of you, you can't stay away from it. So a few of them now, you become, if you say you have logorrhea, do you understand that? Excessive talking. You just talk. We need integrity. Administrators with high integrity. Accountability is one of the other traits we should work hard to get. For some of us, we lead people, but it is never your fault. That is not leadership. So it is important that you take full responsibility for your actions and the outcomes and your inactions. The ethical leader says, I made a mistake. The unethical leader says, they made me do it. Me, I wasn't there. When I came, they had put the memo there and I signed. You need to be there. Take responsibility. Notice how much institutional dysfunction traces back to leaders who cannot bring themselves to utter that first simple sentence, that I made a mistake. Some leaders are leading the institutions in directions that are catastrophic, but their egos will not allow them to stop and say, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Ethical leaders. The third trait is fairness. I remember when we were kids, we used to play this chimpe. If you didn't play chimpe, it means you are not part of the... How many of you know chimpe? So I had a cousin. So as a chimpe, then you put the thing at the back and cut that thing into half before he brings the half and, you know. Meanwhile, when it is his turn to get the chimper from you, he gets it. Fairness. It's not everyone that receives the same treatment. Everyone receives a just treatment if you are fair. A student with a disability may require different accommodation than the other student. Are we fair? That is not unfairness, but justice, properly said. We don't have big hostels like you, but we have disability-friendly rooms in that our small hostel. Doc, Dr. Koendo, that small hostel. We have disability rooms for students with disability. And if you are a student with disability, you have first access to the university hostel before anybody else. Transparency. Making decisions openly so that processes are clearer than personalities. So when it comes to X, then we look at but when it comes to Y, we open our eyes so large that it is enough for it to scare you. That shouldn't be. To be an ethical leader, you need courage. Some of us are making mistakes because we are full of fear. This is not a chapel. I'm not preaching. It's the courage to stand for principle during difficult times, even when the popular or convenient path lies elsewhere. Madam Prof, I worked under a boss, so now I didn't mention the name, so it can be anybody. You know, I worked under a boss who wanted me to think in a particular way because that's how he was thinking. Brother Chair, it conflicted with everything I stood for. And so I told him that I reserve my right to think. I want to make my own mistakes. I reserve my right to think. It will be better for me to think and be wrong than not to think because you think this is the way it should be. I tell you, it's courage. He started working with my deputies. He started giving things over my head. You know, I called them and I told them that you can't say you won't do it when he sends you, but I am still your boss. So you pass the response through me. You know, it takes courage. When I got my appointment, this current appointment, interestingly, my boss was the first to congratulate me. Yeah, we've come a long way. We've come a long way. Have you ever heard a registrar queried? Yeah. That was the cost of my courage. You understand? But I thank God for mentors like Dr. Polifa and others who said, hold your fire. Hold your fire because administration is not emotions. Administration is data. So I had responded though. But Chair, it was like 25 pages. I had every. You know, Dr. Polifa and his colleagues took that response and whittled it to one paragraph. Empathy. Empathy is the other trait you should, as a matter of urgency, you should have. You should cultivate it as an ethical leader. Some of us are working our staff as if they are, excuse me, animals. Yeah. And for me, I want the thing on my desk today. Oh, yeah, kope parabinom na bra. You are not the one who died. It's your mother. So come and do the work. Oh, we hear things. We hear things. Understanding the needs, pressures, and concerns of staff. I'm not saying make yourself into a one-man or one-woman welfare committee. No. But let's show empathy. Let's understand them. Great administrators manage systems. Exceptional administrators understand people. Because we work through people. And it is important that we understand them. But Brother Chair, have you thought of why good leaders drift? Why do they drift? There are 4 quiet pathways. During my preparation, I came up with. I didn't do it. It is a professor called Wei Wang. Wei, W-E-I, Wang. He has identified 4 recognizable patterns through which well-intentioned leaders drift into unethical behavior. And I guarantee every person in this room has witnessed at least one of them up close. The first one, moral licensing. This is the belief that a track record of good behavior has earned the right to cut corners later. Oh, we did not hear deal a year then. Picture a senior administrator who has served faithfully for 20 years, who begins misusing institutional resources because he feels he has earned the right. He tells himself quietly, after everything I have given this institution, surely I am owed this small thing. If I take the tablet home, the one that they are going to buy for us so we can cook our eggs, if I take it home, nobody will see. Oh, if I use the university resources to print my personal things, oh, this one, me deserve it. But past achievement never justifies present misconduct. 20 years of excellent service does not purchase a license for 21st year compromise. The second one is moral cleansing. It is the belief that a good deed now can quietly make up for a past wrong, as though a generous donation to a scholarship fund could offset an earlier act of fraud. No amount of charity, however genuine, should ever be used to erase unethical conduct. The ledger of ethics does not work like that. It doesn't work like credit the receiver, debit the giver. Accounts for no more. Omamba. More. So ethics ledger, it doesn't work like that. The next reason why good leaders fail is called moral escalation, where a genuine commitment to doing right hardens into rigidity and conflict. The administrator becomes so certain of their own moral superiority that ordinary disagreement is treated as a disloyalty. So there are some of you, my Cantan Cross, and me, my Prof. Cantan Cross, I'm team office honor. Nobody dares to disagree with you. But everybody has the right to agree or disagree. We do that agreeably. Agree to disagree agreeably. Let's say it is. Agree agreeably. There are some of you who are sleeping. I'll come and stand by you. If you sleep, I'll come and stand by you. Everybody will see you. I'm not supposed to shame. I'm supposed to be empathetic. Okay. Yes. So this can be a very traumatizing one for people who work around you, because they dare not disagree with you. So everything I concur, then you are bringing us down with you. Moral escalation. But the most common and dangerous is the moral landsliding. It is a slow slope where small compromise here. Today, the petty cash they gave you accounts. Today I'm with you. Oh, where they am borrowing. Okay. So you borrow today, you add a zero tomorrow, and the next you add the name of the person who was not there, but and then you are sliding and you are on a slippery slope. Your compromises accumulate until a serious breach is no longer, you don't feel it. So we Asantefo ka bubese asem kese ba frankensis. It comes small. So before you are aware, the 50 cities here, the 20 cities there, and so on and so forth. When we put all of them together, you may be owing 1 million. Yes. And you wonder how you got there. How did it happen to me? So it is important that we understand that ethical failure rarely begins big. It begins small, which means that our vigilance is also very important. Our vigilance in the small routine decisions is very, very important. Don't wait for the big things, because as I'm saying about Frank Kanye, you don't have any Frank flag. Okay, you don't come with a flag and tell you that, oh, I'm trouble, I'm coming, oh, get out, I'm coming. No, before you are aware, you have been caught in this ethical quagmire. It is important, therefore, to be sure that you yourself, you are standing on the right standard. If you leave me, as for the ethics, plenty. But it is important for you to be able to answer these 3 questions. When it comes to a difficult call, when you have to make a decision that you find so difficult, ask yourself this question. Will this survive being made public? If you will not cover your face, if it's made public, go to the next question. Would I be comfortable explaining this decision to the persons most affected by it, to their face? Am I treating the people involved as ends in themselves or as instruments for a result I want? If you're able to answer these, then you should know that you are on the right track. If a decision fails any one of these three, it means that you need to be more thoughtful before you make the decision. When you want a slightly more expansive version of these same three things that I've asked you, I recommend that you print and pin this above your desk. I don't know whether you have somewhere to pin it, or you can put it on your table and so on. You can ask, is it legal? Is it fair? Is it transparent? Would I be comfortable seeing it published publicly? Does it align with our institutional values? If you are able to answer this without flinching, go ahead and make the decision. Ladies and gentlemen, most of us want to work in silos by ourselves. We are in the same university, but the internal audit does not communicate with the student records. They don't. I'm talking about professional development. We have all heard of Ubuntu. I am because you are. We are calling on us because it is difficult to be ethically correct. Let's call on each other so that we can be there for each other. I want to quickly go. There are several examples for you in the write-up for you to read. I took my time with that. Efficient administration. Efficiency is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. Have you met that staff of yours that comes to work and is everywhere? Everywhere. But you can't pinpoint exactly what the person did. Yes, they are everywhere. Everywhere, every meeting, everything you call, they will come and do. So when I enter every office, I like asking, what has been your percentage performance today? I insist that they make a note of what they are supposed to do in a day and take it as they go along. Efficiency is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. The administrator is you and I, we are like the operating system of the university. IT for more, they are not here. Oh, when I said operating system, I thought you'd be happy. Yes, we are the operating system for the university. And it is important that we are an efficient operating system. Every process, every minute, every student record, every procurement file is a transaction that either builds or erodes institutional trust. Everything we do, that is how you should see it. The file, procurement, one process at a time. A student record. In one of my readings, I came across a university in Nigeria. I said I'm not mentioning names today. Where it was easy to change the grades of the students through their ERP, their enterprise resource was not doing what it was supposed to do. So if I want first class, I could buy it. The Vice-Chancellor lost his job for that. So efficiency in this sense, it's not about the speed for its own sake, but it's about profitability. How profitable is that process to the university? How fair is the process? And how responsible are the people using it? It is very important. How responsible are we using? There are so many examples in Ghana, across Africa, and we even have global benchmark. But when we understand efficient administration, we will redesignate our workflow to be able to achieve the institutional goal. Ladies and gentlemen, ethics alone, no matter how admirable it is not sufficient. Ethics is not sufficient. Good intentions without competence create their own form of damage, inefficiency. An administrator who is honest but disorganized can frustrate an institution just as thoroughly as the one who is corrupt but efficient. Perhaps even more so because the good intentions make the dysfunction harder to confront. You know, the person is doing it too. The person has worked from 8 to 5, but the person has nothing to show. As soon as I was going to save, then the computer swallowed my work. You've heard that before? Yeah. And that is all the work they have done from 8 to 5. And that report is needed for 8 a.m. meeting tomorrow. Go figure how you will feel. You know. Efficient administration is the ability to achieve institutional objectives using available resources wisely and effectively. Not simply working hard, but working in a way that produces results proportionate to the results spent. Some of us are wasteful. The resource we use to produce the result, you know, most of the time, that's not much. We are wasteful, especially in with our time. Registrar, how many times have you seen the same two ladies standing in the corner of the corridor and talking? Definitely not about the work on their table. Have you met the guy whose lunch starts at 11:30 and finishes at 2:30? We are those people. It is the same time that has been given to all of us, but we don't seem to get it. Oh, so we can do it tomorrow. Efficient administration means that we have practical approaches to solve the process or the work and eliminate duplicated steps, several service level charters, and so on and so forth. Efficient administration means that we are able to give feedback to our students. Sometimes our students have to wait 1 week, 2 weeks for a transcript. Brother Registrar, let me tell you what happened during the last congregation. Not this last, but the December one. The one that included the school of health. Do you have health sciences? My SMS. My daughter was one of them. And so we took the gown the following day in exchange for the certificate. He says, no, we were only giving it out yesterday, so you can't go and come. It happened here. So I said, I'm calling the registrar. My daughter said, no, stop. Don't call the registrar. Don't disturb the registrar. The registrar is busy. But it beats my imagination that the student is here. The student has brought the gown. It is graduation. No. It is not end of semester that the student will come back. So go. And indeed, she went and came back before she had the, we can do better. We can do better. I'm not talking, like you. Some of those things happened. One father was so mad at me that I went and I apologized. I don't know whether it was a spelling mistake in the child's name or the father was so angry. The person has the right to be angry. So we need to be efficient in the way we do things. Efficiency is doing the right thing. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. And we need both for us to do well. Brother Chair, I want to posit some 5 practical habits that separate administrators who are merely busybodies from administrators who are genuinely effective. And I want to say that they have ruthless weekly triage. Every Monday morning or Sunday evening, triage, when you've gone to the hospital, they have red, they have green, and they have yellow. So if you are almost dead, you go to red. If you are dying small, then you go to yellow. If you live forever, then you go to green. That is what I'm trying to inculcate in the people who work with me. You get a diary. It's mandatory. You put in what you have to do. And then in the order of importance. So if you need something tomorrow, you don't do the one that you need next week, today, and then wait and tell me you are now doing it. It is important that we inculcate this habit and we develop it. Some of us do not know. And if you, the leader, you don't know where you are going, what will the people under you do? So I tell them that the administrative assistants and those category in your office, what is their daily expectation? Because what is the basis on which you are appraising them? If there are no benchmarks, on a daily basis, the person should meet their benchmarks. And it will go into a week, the week into months, and the months into a year. We are not efficient because we are not measuring what the people are doing. Do you know that they still get the date and the time and those things wrong? AM. How do you write it? They still get it wrong and they are working with us. The last time I was in office, that was last week, then somebody brought, I'm normally gentle, And then I asked them what they were doing with their eyes. You know, because you are supposed to see it, so I don't see it. Let us be ruthless in this area when it comes to training them, because you will do the work yourself, you know, and that is not good training. So let us have the habit of triaging and making our schedules according to the most important, the least important, and then the intermediate important in between. It is important for us to do that. Let me paint a contrasting picture for you. Because of the abstraction, all it takes so far. Imagine that UCC, you have leave applications where it requires 6 separate signatures before the leave gets approved. Is this efficient? 6. Because the leave roster, everybody's leave was brought from the department, right? Or the units. Registrar, I don't know what you do here. You know, yes, you fill on the portal. But from one person, it has to go to the next person on the top before. So if I delay in responding to the leave application, in the system, I hold back. I hold back the efficiency of the process. We are digitalizing, we are using the process, but a human being is holding up the process. Is it possible for us to decrease the number of signatures? Because already it has been approved. Unless there is a change, then you come back. Can we look at that and make sure that some of these unnecessarily long processes are done efficiently? Now imagine an alternative. I asked the IT people that I want to have all my memos digital. The process, the writing, everything. So that at the end of the day, we print out just one with all the minutes, everybody's minute on it. You know. That is a story for another day. I am in my 6th year. It has taken 6 years to do this. Let me be clear about something important. Technology does not replace leadership. It is important that even when we streamline the process, we put it through technology, we also show leadership. The other habit is delegation of tasks. Delegation of tasks. There are some who think that when they delegate, it means they haven't worked. It's one of the habits you will need to do so that we get things done efficiently and effectively. When you are offloading, you say, do this exactly as I would. But when you are delegating, you look at the outcome that the person is able to do. You look at the innovation the person brings on board, and you use your judgment, your moral judgment, to try and guide the person. Because if you say, do it exactly as I would do, then do it yourself. We give no room for mistakes, but I tell you, This is my 32nd year in tertiary education. And nothing has taught me as much as mistakes that I have made. You will never make it again when you made the mistake yourself. You will never forget the lesson. But we make it look like mistake is wrong. Yes, it is. Some mistakes are dangerous. Mistakes are deadly. But it is through those mistakes that we learn. Habit 3, measure what you actually want more of. What should we stop doing? What should we do more? What should we not do at all? There are some things that we are doing now that, Brother Registrar, if we stop, nothing will happen. But we still do it because it's been part of the process. So when we do that, the things that we need to do more suffer. And the ones that we have to do less occupy the space that we don't even have the time for. So it's important for us, to do more of what needs to be done. Habit 4. I'll make this available so you can read more into the example. Protect your meeting calendar and your time as fiercely as your budget. Oh, they know you are going to the meeting. They know you have a schedule. But maybe now 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They take your time. I call them the time wasters. So I ask them, go and ask the person, is it life and death? Has somebody died? Are they at the point of death? Okay, if it's no, nobody is dying, nobody has died, nobody is sick. Okay, can you come after my meeting at 3? Oh, there may be no. It's important. That's what good administrators do. So that you free the time that they would have wasted to do what is very important. Sometimes some of us have to sit in and do extra hours because somebody came in and took our time, and we allowed them freely. We should never allow anybody to take our time. Efficient administrators respect time because they understand a simple truth. Time is the institutional's highest capital. So, Brother Chair, you should be giving queries for wasting time. Yeah. They take the university's time for free and they don't pay for it. Treat resource stewardship as an ethical act, not just as a technical one. That's the 5th habit. There are several practices, including lean administration. When I was coming, I heard whoever was speaking, I don't know who it was, but I heard lean administration and so on. The Vice-Chancellor, oh, okay, so we've heard it. But I have questions on what is lean. Is it killing the other people who don't complain because it's a lean environment? We will talk about it later. But what I want to say is that there is a strong link between accountability, transparency, performance metrics, and efficiency. A very strong link. But you can read it for yourself when I give the paper. Yeah. The 3rd pillar is innovation. What is innovation? We have already spoken about it. The age in which we are, innovation is no longer optional. It's a core administrative duty. You need to innovate or you die, just like the academic says that what? Publish or, yes, publish or perish. There are several innovations happening in the Ghanaian landscape, African landscape, and the global frontier. There are so many of them. I have examples in the text. You can look at it. But the most important thing is that do not innovate if it is not improving a purpose. Innovation is for the improvement of purpose. So it is important that whatever processes we want to automate, whatever processes we want to digitize, whatever processes we want to cut down the number of steps, it is important that we are always within our clear institutional guidelines. So innovation does not mean going after every new trend. There are some of us, hey, adebe na wo phone is ede na mini bi. Hey, then you get it. Tell me, look at your phone. You take your phone. Tell me the number of apps that you use. Each of them occupies space. They take your data. They take your time too. But they are there free. And we think that is innovation. We shouldn't bring that conduct to the system where innovation is following everything. UCC has done it. Okay, we'll go and buy that. Hey, KNUST did it. Okay, let's go and get it. Hey, for me, your innovation should serve a purpose. You need to manage it. You need to manage every innovation. And you see, innovation is such that you have three types of people waiting for you. Those who agree with you, those who are indifferent about what you are doing, and those who reject it and oppose you with every single part of their body. That is what administrators will face. It is for us to manage the change during this innovation time and bring everybody on board. Resistance to change is not bad. It tells us that somebody is thinking differently. But you see, in that part of the world, we are quick to brand them as the black sheep. I wonder why the bad ones are always black. I don't know why. Because some white sheep can be very bad. You know. It is very important, Brother Chair, I have learned to listen to the one who is screaming the loudest against whatever policy. Maybe the person is seeing something that we are also enthused and we are not looking at that. It is important that we listen to those who dissent, you know. But by saying that, it doesn't mean go against everything that has innovation written on it. Some of us were born before computers. Those of you who were born before computers, we are almost facing out. Brother Chan, there are those who are digital natives and who know how to do nothing without the computer. Like, if the computer is not there, their world crashes. They are 25 years and they've entered our workforce. They are called Gen Z. They have a simple way about going about everything, and they annoy me. Annoy me nicely. Because, oh yeah, they're no son. They have the technology, they don't have the ethics. You have the ethics, you don't have the technology. You have what he needs, you have the Gen Zs to have what you need. It is called Mentor 2.0, reverse mentoring, where they help you with the technology and you help them with their ethics. Brother Chair, our system now has no room for Gen Zs. We are short-tempered with them. We call them lazy. We are impatient. But they are the future. And if we are so angry with the future, imagine what the future will look like. And so they know we don't like them. And so they misbehave consciously so that you suspend them. They go home and they do whatever they are doing. Some of them, I'm telling you, are manning $1 million companies. They just need your paper, to while away their time during the day. So in our innovation, we should consider all the generations that we have working, not only us. Bring them onto the table. What my profile didn't tell you was that I was 31 when I became the vice principal of the Polytechnic, Sunyani. 31, because I was given a chance to sit at the table of the big men. I remember when I took up office somewhere, somebody said, hey, now we did a Abbeyquaye pension. I'm a BDB. Anyway, so let's have them, all of us, on the table. They are now entering the workforce. They are part of us now. Now they finish school before they are 25. Some even finish as young as 22. And they are working. But the workplace has not innovated to include them. So as administrators, let's put them on our calendar. Innovation and ethics, you cannot separate them. Ethics without innovation is stagnant. And so you can read all about it. It's important for us to know. But these now become pathways, these three. We bring them together and we weave these three pillars into pathways to professional development. The final strand of our theme asks about actionable strategies to equip us for continuous learning, adaptability, and meaningful contribution to institutional. In which we can, better ourselves to better serve our students, our faculty, and our institutional mission. Let me draw the threads together because by now you can probably see where I'm going. The administrator who is scrupulously ethical but administratively inefficient will exhaust the goodwill of their institution before they achieve anything. The administrator who is efficient but ethically careless will build something that eventually collapses under its own weakness, often publicly. Add also the administrator who innovates without either ethical grounding or operational discipline. They will produce pilot projects that we are unable to scale. But the good news is that developing in one area tends to strengthen the others, build the habit of transparent participatory decision making, and you will find your change initiatives meet less resistance because people trust that you consulted them honestly. Build efficient systems, and you free the time and mental space needed for genuine ethical reflection instead of being rushed. Professional development itself is no longer optional, ladies and gentlemen. It is essential. I took a refresher course in the role of AI in the use of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and so on and so forth. And then I'm Jimmy who deeper minima there no. But what they opened my eyes to, showed me that kotakra se unimo. No. So it is important that we learn, unlearn, and relearn. Learn. There are some of the things you've learned that are archaic. Unlearn them. And then relearn so that you can make it. You need digital competencies. You need to understand the tools that are reshaping our institution. We have already said that our institutions are under pressure. You need to understand how to handle yourself under such pressure. You need ethical decision-making skills. You need the emotional intelligence to navigate dilemmas that come your way on a daily basis. You need how to manage change. It is important, that you, who is the leader, you are leading right and you have your sense in the right direction. It is important that you grow so that the people who are with you also grow. First and foremost, become a mentor in the pathways to developing professional competencies. Become a mentor, help people establish ethical judgment, help them to think through things. There are some of us who only see the city sign before the figure. That's all we see. But we don't see the disgrace, behind it. There are some of us, instant gratification. There are so many of us. There are some of us who have taken loans to the point that you can't even think when you come to work every day. Let's help our people think through it ethically, morally. They are undergoing a lot of dilemmas. Let's do that. Hey, have I said what I shouldn't have said? Hey, I didn't know. Okay. Secondly, I would want to recommend that we stay connected to your professional community. It is important, just as we are doing today. There are some of us who are auditors. You go to your audit people, accountants, you have your professional communities. They also run these CPDs. Make sure you stay connected. Make sure you that you are in good standing. When they publish the list in the graphic, normally I take it and then I start looking for people in that profession. Say, I didn't see your name. Treat your own development as a standing item on your calendar. Develop yourself intentionally. Build a genuine feedback loop for yourself. There are some of us, Yeka and Kebi. When we say nobody says, so nobody can come and tell us that the emperor is wearing no clothes. There are some of us, we are naked, but who are we? Like the people, it was only the small girl who was brave enough to see that the emperor was naked. But everyone around them was saying that, oh, your dress is very nice. Be careful of those who praise you very much. They are no good. Build a genuine feedback loop for yourself. Keep records of the things you are doing and where you made a mistake and how you corrected it. It can become handy for other people. You see, most of the time, because of the way our culture is, we are not used to writing, except the lawyers. They can write plenty. But we don't like writing. Administrators, are you there? Yes. Oh, please, hello. Don't worry, I'll be closing shortly. I know I've taken too much time. You know, let us journal our journeys. Where we failed, you know, keep a record of it. You know, use that to advise the people under you. Help them to make a right decision. So what is the roadmap for UCC? Mr. President of UCC chapter of GAUA. What is the roadmap? I know that you already go for further training, you know, but let's institutionalize the continuous learning. Brother Chair, if the first thing to cut when budgets are, you know, suffering is the continuous development or continuous learning, then the university has a problem. We are telling our people that we love you mediocre as you are, so go ahead. Now, where the world is going, we are not doing things by ourselves. We call it co-creation. Let's do institutional communities of practice, like UCC with UESD and so on. Let's pursue recognized professional certificate. You've spoken about that. And let's have ethics champions, innovation champions, and let's reward them in a scheduled event. You know, so Mr. Konedu has done something and it has cut the processing time in half. Reward him. Put his name somewhere on a recognition, maybe no money with it, but recognition wall, something. Reward innovation. Innovation champions. Let's reward them, you know. And let's all look at ethics and innovation with a single agenda to make the work better than it used to. I would want to close. Our key takeaways is that ethical leadership is as important as the air that we breathe. You need to have integrity, you should be accountable, sound judgment, and non-negotiable in your integrity. Let veritas nobis lumen be your daily guide. Efficient administration demands systemic thinking. Let's map all procedures, adopt lean and agile principles, and deploy integrated digital tools that will always track the services and the delivery standards that we do. Innovation must be responsible and inclusive. Use AI, design thinking, and frugal methods to solve real problems. You should safeguard your ethics, equity, and data privacy. Professional development is continuous, multimodal journey. Blend formal learning with informal peer networks and so on, so that you can align your personal growth with the institutional growth. And last but not the least, the synergy of all the three pillars creates a virtuous cycle. Ethical environments encourage innovation. Innovation drives efficiency. Efficiency frees up resources for professional development, which in turn reinforces ethical leadership. In conclusion, I know people are saying, oh, finally. Don't worry, me, I can laugh at myself. So. Some of you take yourself so seriously that you can't even laugh at yourself, you know. No, but me, Brother Registrar, I laugh at myself. Sometimes my daughters ask me, why are you laughing? You know, you can, you know. So I said, finally, in conclusion, leadership without ethics will not stand the test of time. Ethics without efficiency is just an intention. It never reaches the people they are meant to serve. Innovation without ethics and efficiency is a motion of mistakes. It's a motion of mistakes. And none of the three on its own will carry us as administrators to the future. And that looks nothing like the past. It is only when we hold integrity, discipline, creativity together, deliberately, daily, in decisions large or small, that is when we build institutions worth the trust placed in them. I want you to pause for a moment and see yourself without a job. No, 1 minute. I have been there before. At the age of 44, I was jobless. I became, through no fault of mine, but through a system that punished you for thinking differently. I was due for renewal. The council renewed my appointment and then disappointed me after 2 days. You see, when we don't do things, we forget the people we hate. You know. And the interesting thing is that I said I wasn't mentioning any universities. But some people are adding 2 to 3. Because if they calculate the time I was here and this one, they know where I was. Are you calculating? You know, the interesting thing was that, okay, so also family, renew my mail. Not that I've done anything wrong. You give me a letter. I know if I knew my brother and Kobeya Mushegepa. But you won't renew my appointment. And you won't also let me get a job. When leadership fails, it is the people who suffer. You have a job, you are comfortable. You are sure that something is coming in. But ask yourself, since when did you work for the good of the university? Since when did you think ethically to the point that it inures to the benefit of the place that puts your daily bread on the table. You understand? Some of us see it as our right, and we demand it with our last drop of blood. But ethical administrators are better than that. I'm drawing my last statement. Ethical administrators, that is you and I. We are better than those who just wait for the money to do thing. I don't know, Brother Registrar, do you pay yourselves or you are on controller? Sorry. You pay, okay, right. So still, there's thing at a particular, that's what my daughter said, the thing has come. You just don't wait for that, but you work in such a way that you are able to account for the hours, the time you spend here, and the resources that has been spent on you. When the university progresses, you progress along. The name wraps on you. So let us, through the process of our ethics, our efficiency, and our innovation, no matter how small it is, let us, through that process, work to let the university become a place of preference once again. God bless you. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that a standing ovation will do. Please resume your seats. Thank you very much. I trust that we have all picked our food for thoughts that we are going to think about, chew on to improve our efficiency. At this point in time, we will allow for a few questions. We wanted to do breakout, but I think the breakout has broken us, and therefore we will do question time, and then we'll go. Chair, how many questions? 3. Sanctioned. So, who bears the cat? The first person to come for the microphone and then ask. Please let the question be simple, no preamble, nothing, straight. Question time. Can I take it that? Can I take it that? Maybe I could I know you have questions, but I want to save time. That is why I want to. In any case, Madam, we are grateful for letting us into so many things. Some we know, some we don't, and some we knew and forgot. We brought it back. At this point in time, once you have no questions, I humbly invite our chair to close us.
Thank you very much. You know, usually you mount the podium and you say, maybe Madam Chair or Mr. Chairman, I will seek leave to stand on the protocols already established. Standing here, I am the chairman. So I'll grant myself leave to stand on the protocols already established. Distinguished colleagues, as we draw this enriching seminar to a close, we have been reminded that the future of university administration rests on three inseparable pillars: ethical leadership, efficient administration, and purposeful innovation. We have learned that ethics builds the trust upon which institutions thrive. Efficiency ensures that we make the best use of our limited resources to deliver timely and quality services. And innovation challenges us to continually seek better ways of serving our universities and stakeholders. Together, these three values transform institutions from merely functioning organizations into flourishing centers of excellence. We have also been challenged to see professional development not as an occasional event, but as a continuous commitment. By strengthening our digital competence, emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, ethical decision-making, and change management skills, while embracing mentorship, lifelong learning, and constructive feedback, we position ourselves to remain relevant and impactful in an ever-changing higher education landscape. Perhaps the most practical takeaway from today's seminar is the speaker's challenge to each of us. Before this month ends, let us each strengthen one ethical habit, eliminate one inefficiency from our work, and pilot one meaningful innovation. Institutional transformation does not happen overnight. It begins with deliberate actions of committed professionals like us. Finally, let us remember this profound truth. Universities shape the future of nations, but administrators shape the effectiveness of universities. May we therefore leave this seminar inspired to lead with integrity, serve with excellence, innovate with purpose for the benefit of our institutions and our nation. With these remarks, it is my singular honor and privilege to declare the GAUA Continuous Professional Development Seminar 2026 officially closed. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Chair. Even though the last words of Chair was thank you, executives have prepared somebody special to come and add to us thank you. Esther, kindly add to the thank you that I give us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Esther Bimanimo.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you all. Please, on behalf of the executive of GAUA, would like to express our profound gratitude to the Vice-Chancellor who was here with us this morning, and also to the acting Pro-Vice-Chancellor for sitting with us throughout the period, even though we know she has a tight schedule. Thank you, Chair, Registrar, for being with us throughout. Mrs. Mary Agyapong, thank you very much. We acknowledge you for staying through for 2 hours with us, even though you are not so well. We wish you speedy recovery. And to all of you directors here in present, to all of you GAUA members, we appreciate you all for staying through. Tomorrow morning, if you wake up from your bed, remember GAUA executives are appreciative of what you have done for us. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
A pentem papa. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go for the road, what Madam talked about regarding loans, loan taking. I know someone who had taken loan here. He went to the last point And the manager said, "Oh, gentlemen, A, B, C, D. I said, "Scan, what's that? Come on, phone call." Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, loan wager, and a journey out to Emukakra. Jesus, the edgy. Name Yanji prudently. I'm speaking like a fancy man. I've stayed here for some time now, so I've imbibed their style. It's also for here. One man is about them. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Reverend Dr. Kwampa to close us with a prayer.
And so, if we could rise for the closing prayer, I heard somebody saying, "Oh, yeah, you mind?" And see, I'm picking a common chorus that we all know. Danasi, Danasi, Da Onyame Onya Danasi, 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 Da Onyame Every say, Nyami oh yeah, na do, Yesu do so, ma ye nyinanka danasi. Danasi Uda Unyami Efrise Nyami oh ye na do Yesu do so ma ye nambum kase danasi da unyami asi. Gracious God, we thank you for an insightful 2026 GAUA CPD seminar. We thank you for the university authorities, GAUA executives, and all participants here present. We thank you for the presentations and then the facilitators. We ask that may you give us the grace to apply them, and then may you bless us and keep us. This we pray in the name of Christ Jesus our Lord with thanksgiving. And may we all say amen.
Please sit for announcement. Also for collection Yebejina Kanain.
Thank you very much, colleagues. So there is a review or some few questions that we are supposed to answer as part of Madam's delivery. So we will share it on the platform for us to fill it. And at the end of the day, I think we look at it and get us a feedback of whatever he wants us to know. So thank you very much. The second announcement, God willing, those of us going to Sunyani, departure time is 5 a.m. Exactly 5 a.m. Those who registered, they don't pay on time, were cut off yesterday, and I got a lot of calls. Some said they wanted to pay cash. So my treasurer tells me that it's important, it's part of the professional ethics that we are supposed to learn. So please, those who have paid and have been acknowledged for their payment, we are all gathering at the main administration, Adu-Poku building complex. The time for departure is exactly 5 a.m. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, no. Beloved, go in peace. The mass has ended.